Hey everybody, Sassy Biggons here. Just thought I'd pop on while I had a few minutes and currently not in fear of anything I'm about to say because I think I have it well thought out this time. This is Big in the USA, so it could be referring to either my head, my boobs, or my rear, so we'll let you decide exactly how big this could all be. Or how big your heart is, it all depends. But society is being society again, and I felt the need to say something. I mean, Lord knows I can talk the ears off the stone statue, but I think this one's a little more important. In the dating/relationship world, just between men and women since the history of Adam and Eve, it just has this feeling with modernism, whether it's politics, feminism, or any other form of masculinity, that it's like, especially women, or the war on women, is that they don't know how to have fun anymore. Or they're not as lighthearted, or they're not willing to emotionally reach out in a way. Because they take themselves so seriously. They take their outfits so seriously. They take their makeup so seriously. They take their looks so seriously that there's no room for fun. There's no room for whimsy. There's no room for anything that is not as perfect as they think they are. And Lord knows, women do not compromise with things that are not as good as they are, that somehow they're trading down, and that trading down is a way of somehow taking away from their own value. But then it's all perceived as in some kind of story was created. They chose to believe the story that was created, and therefore it is their excuse to not participate with, not interact with, not give graciousness to most of society, or just others. Like I said, this is when it affects every relationship, as well as ones that they're supposed to have with men of any type. What are we left with? Some really crappy pieces and some really vain Barbies that keep running around who think there's God's gift to somebody somewhere. But the whole part of being a gift is that you have to be useful or usable. And that's not what a gift is if you're not any of those things. You might as well just be a statue. And other than being stuck in a museum like most historical statues, not a lot of people are paying to see you. I mean, yeah, people still go to museums, but school trips, I mean, that's all your use. That's all you end up being good for. What about your family? What about the next generation? Heck, I mean, I don't make jokes about cat ladies. What if you even just volunteered at an animal shelter? That way you'd help all the animals and not just the ones that, keep you warm at night. Like, there's more than just being kept warm at night. There's more than just, not wanting to die alone. Because those are the only things that can wake up some of these chicks. The fear of that. Because they've gotten so away from being cute, coquettish, like I said, whimsy, that they're boring. Even I'm bored by them. It's like, yay, you were born with natural beauty and all these other things, and these are virtues you don't know jack diddly squat about or how to use them. I mean, I know guys wouldn't necessarily see me as cute. Thankfully, my husband does. Like, it was a book that was never opened most of the time. They just wouldn't even try. And I thank everyone who left me alone, because it means I skipped a lot of losers by just being invisible. Being invisible is really, really easy when you look like this, by the way. Extremely easy. Fat people, I swear, have the superpower of invisibility. But I'll save that for another day. But it's true. I am very invisible to most things in the world. But anytime anyone started to dig a little bit, start going through the pages, oh, I always had them wanting more. Always, always. But it goes to whimsy, to where it didn't have to be dirty. It didn't have to always have your head in a total gutter. It could be funny. You know, if you have freckles like I usually do, it's like, you want to play connect the dots? I'll let you figure out what that could mean. It could be something very innocent or not, depending on how the feeling is given. And that's what women are missing. They don't connect any dots usually. Usually, they'll connect the dots on their makeup to make sure it's perfectly geometrical. No one cares, by the way. Or so thinking that they have to be some kind of frilly, done up whatever, that it's like, just go make your kid a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. They don't care. I mean, you can pat yourself on the back if the peanut butter is, from a co-op and someplace that pays them fair wages. Pat yourself on the back for that. But the kid don't care. Just like guys will not care. Like, yes, they will appreciate a black mini dress, but if that black mini dress is just a cover for you're about as emotionally dead as someone in the graveyard, they'll take the girl dressed in the Amish outfit. They will. Go from little skinny black dress to Amish dress in a heartbeat. Because at least the Amish dress, she'll want to live the whole life with them. Want to live the full emotional range of it all. That whole have kids, grow up, marriage, more kids, the whole thing. They'll do it. They'll want it. I don't want to use the terms are willing to get down and dirty, because then they'll be misconstrued. Like, they'll dig the garden with you, that kind of dirty. They'll interact more. They're willing to reach out. They're willing to participate, commingle, everything. And then you got those that are like, they think they're gardening if they have a tomato plant out on the really, really small, what are those things called? Porch, like the mini porches off of apartment building. Oh, they have a tomato plant. Yes, it's a full garden. Nah, it's not. Nice try. Try again. Or heck, they'd even prefer the girl that owns a tape measure. And most guys are very, very intimidated by the girl who owns a tape measure. I mean that the wrong way and the right way. We'll go with the right way on this one. If a girl owns a tape measure, it usually means she can fix more things around the house than the guy can. Because what guy in this day and age knows, I mean, they understand why you would need a measuring device, but at the same time, how many of them use them in their daily lives for like normal work? Measure a board, where to cut it. Measure a pipe, where to cut that into weld. Measuring things matters. Like, how big is a room? You'll need it for that. How much carpet will you need? All these very important things. Girls, if you're near a guy who doesn't know how to use a tape measure for those types of things, don't marry him. Odds are they flunked out of high school. Run. I mean, run hard, fast, far, far away. But if you know a guy who at least knows how to use some type of measuring device in a non-dirty sexual way, is totally not afraid to use it, it's probably a tradesman. Tradesmen are good. Tradesmen know how to do stuff. So if your car gets a flat tire, they're the ones you call, not AAA, because they're probably faster, and they have the stuff just sitting in the back of their truck for no obvious reason. And that's why you love them. They're always there when you're in trouble. And emotionally, most women don't know how to be there for men when men are in trouble. Like emotionally, or they're stressed out, or like men might do all the physical stuff, but it's women's job to fix all the emotional and the mental stuff. So it does work out. But when one side isn't holding up their end of the bargain, there's no bargain. You were overcharged. It's not a fair give and take. It's obvious it will either one die or two limp along until one of you dies or self-destructs. And that's not healthy either. It really isn't healthy. So at least one of you knows how to make it all work. Just make the pieces fit, adjust, file down a corner so you can shove it in there and make it work. Within reason. But yeah, boring women who don't have a sense of humor, be very, very suspicious of women who don't have senses of humor. Or if they can't make a dirty joke and laugh, like if they don't laugh, either one, they better have a PhD in British comedy. Just saying. They better. Or two, they don't know what's funny. Do you want to get stuck with somebody who doesn't know when things are funny? It's the biggest case of Asperger's on the history of the world. And they've decided that Asperger's is a subset of autism. So unless you enjoy autism, which could happen, you might have a couple of issues in the future relating to one another. And girls, if guys have that same thing, yeah. It's more often that guys will have the autism. That's why they make fun of it so much in Big Bang Theory, is that they think Sheldon has Asperger's. And to some extent, he could. I mean, clearly he was still a genius, but not the kind of genius that, like, is helpful. Ever. So if you need some quantum physics calculated, call him up. If you want to live a full, emotionally in touch life, don't call him. Ever. 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 That's why there's such a big difference in those characters between, like, Amy and Penny. Penny's, like, the street smart, and Amy's obviously the book smart, and both of them in their own way really do emotionally control, manipulate, and guide their other halves to greater emotional mental health. And they've learned how to laugh and keep it light, even though things can be serious. It's like they haven't lost the shared good times that are necessary to make a relationship really, really good. And that's what I think what bothers me the most. It's not that, oh, they've lost whimsy. Oh, they've lost or never had, they've never not taken themselves super, super serious. It's like, no, it's more than that. They don't know how to enjoy something to its fullest because they think that if they have too much joy or whatever, that the world will fall apart. They'll get hurt somehow. That it's not safe to have that much happiness in something. And that is detrimental. That is lack of mental health. That is where society is going. And I don't know how necessarily to help slow down that process of progress to where, I mean, you always see the things on like Instagram and stuff about, I'm 42, I have no kids, it's a holiday, ain't it great? I get to sleep in till noon, ain't it great? I don't have kids, don't do this, I don't do that, blah, 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 blah. If that's the only joy you have in life, I want to go play Connect the Dots with my husband. Do the math on that real quick. Who has the better type of joy? Who knows where the right, I won't say the right kind of happiness, but some kind of happinesses are like seeds. They're supposed to grow. Certain kinds don't grow. They're very one-dimensional. They're not deep, fulfilling, enriched, can be built upon other things. They're very just a surface subject. It's a reason to make a video, but it's not a reason to... you don't share it with really anybody. It's just... the thing that you've curled up to is AI. The thing you've curled up to is the internet. Hope the copper wires are spiritually fulfilling your soul with never-ending joy until you die, basically. Yeah. Women aren't thinking that far out of the box. They're not. Or maybe they're sticking their head too far into the computer box. And they're not coming out, and they're blind to everything else of what is life? What is life giving? What is life sharing? What is spiritual connection? Or what is it to be spiritually unconnected and unconnectable? Which some of them are. You don't know who you are yet, but maybe this video can help you figure it out. Maybe. So with that being said, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, see anything else you want me to talk about. Right now I'm avoiding politics because I think we're just drowning in politics, and a lot of the politics really isn't based in politics. It's more stuff like this of what kind of values do we want in our country? What kind of personal relationships are available in today's culture? And how is it just destroying the actual fabric of our society? I like good, healthy fabric. I like something that's not being destroyed. I like things that are whole and moving forward. And whether it's, like I said, the spiritual connection with others, or taking care of others, or so much of this AI stuff, it's not actual care, and people keep on misconstruing it. And women deserve better, men deserve better. And the more they get back to the roots of how we're all supposed to fit together, it makes for a better world. And who doesn't want more of good things and less bad things? And that's basically all it is. So if you know better, do better. And try to bring less bad into the world. But yeah, try to find a girl who's at least a little bit happy. And if tying her tubes is one of those things, she's probably a dude. She's probably a dude. So, see y'all next time. Don't do anything I wouldn't do, but that's not saying very much. So, have a good one.